love to see this place as nationalized as possible. Midterm elections, the more nationalized they are. Live updates. Extreme heat blankets East Coast as 4th of July. America 250 events ramp up. As celebrations begin for America's 250th anniversary Saturday, concerns over safety of the many planned celebrations across the U.S. are growing as an extreme heat wave is set to last into the weekend. The Trump administration on Wednesday issued emergency orders aiming to maximize electrical output ahead of potential power shortages. A heat dome is appeals to both sides with intelligence officers fired for working on days. A federal appeals court in a 2-1 decision Thursday upheld a lower court ruling blocking the Trump administration from firing 19 career intelligence officers who had been assigned to roles dealing with diversity, equity, inclusion and accessibility data. The ruling from the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals found the Trump administration erred in firing them. How a heat dome works. Millions of Americans gathering to celebrate the country's 250th birthday are expected to be under what meteorologists call a heat dome, ensuring that this 4th of July weekend will be a dangerously hot one. This heat dome is expected to stretch across most of the East Coast and across the southern part of them. Don't whitewash American history on the 4th of July. Frederick Douglass's 1852 4th of July speech highlighted the hypocrisy of celebrating independence while slavery still existed, and today Black Americans still face economic and social discrimination. But despite setbacks, progress towards racial justice and equality continues. Goal of higher voter turnout remains elusive in California as changes have extended ballot counting. California has enacted many changes over the years that were intended to boost voter turnout. Trump and Republicans return to communist attacks against Democrats ahead of the midterm elections. President Donald Trump and fellow Republicans are reviving attacks on Democrats, labeling them communists. Trump raked in more than $1 billion through crypto ventures, federal filing shows. President Trump and his family took in more than $1 billion last year through crypto businesses, a federal filing released Wednesday revealed. Former ethics lawyer says Trump's crypto poses clear conflict of interest. Former White House ethics lawyer Richard Painter says President Trump stands alone from having substantial financial conflicts of interest in that, for every other executive branch official, it would be a violation. Democratic Socialists pose a challenge for the party as midterms approach. A string of high-profile victories by Democratic Socialists is posing a challenge for Democrats as they look ahead to midterms and seek a path back to the majority in Congress. The rise of Democratic Socialists and what it means for the party. NPR's Martinez speaks with Brad Landon, Democratic nominee for New York's 10th Congressional District, about the rise of Democratic Socialists in the Democratic Party. Trump takes first flight on new Air Force One gifted by the Qatari government. President Trump took his first flight on the new Air Force One yesterday. The Boeing 747 luxury jet was given to the U.S. by the government of Qatar, raising concerns about ethics and security. How is the new Air Force One prepared for flight? Has President Trump's new Qatari plane truly been put through all the security and maintenance checks required of Air Force One? Challengers score victories in lawsuit against Arkansas's restrictions on citizen ballot initiatives. A federal judge in Arkansas is throwing out some state laws that put extra restrictions on efforts to gather signatures for ballot initiatives. The Declaration's forgotten non-signer. John Dickinson's missing 1776 signature haunts his legacy. James Calvert has spent 25 years championing John Dickinson, a lesser-known Revolutionary War figure. Ken Burns on Trump's America 250. Washington needed no monuments. Ken Burns on Trump's America 250. Washington needed no monuments. Read image. Birthright Citizens score. The scorer of the opening American goal against Bosnia, Folarin Balogun, is eligible to play for the United States only because airline employees in New York kept his pregnant mother from returning to London until her son was born. As Arya Misra wrote recently, it makes Balogun not only the leader of a reinvigorated U.S. attack but a poster child for a cause validated yesterday by the U.S. Supreme Court. That the 14th Amendment of the Constitution guarantees